Hey, hi Year 9, this is your recorded lesson for this week. We're moving on to a new topic, which is area and perimeter. The first we need to quickly look at, hopefully this is something you've seen before, is how you find the perimeter of a shape, and it's just the distance around the edge of the shape. So we've got some really simple rectangles. The first one is a length of 3 and a width of 1, so perimeter 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, which comes to 8. That'll be 8 centimeters because all the lengths are centimeters. If you add them together, it's still centimeters. If you wanted to, you could have just done 3 plus 1 and doubled it because the opposite sides are equal on a rectangle. Okay, so if you could work out, please, the perimeter of the other 3 rectangles, pause the video and do that, and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so we should have got 22, 16, and 32. It should be millimeters. It's whatever unit the lengths are, that's what the perimeter is going to be. The only thing you'd really be asked to do with perimeter is something a bit more difficult like this. You need to try and use the information you've got to figure out what the lengths represented by the question marks are. So you could just have a go at doing that. Okay, so for the green question mark, we've got a 5 centimeter side, and this bit down here, which is 2 centimeters. So the green one is 5 take away 2, which is 3 centimeters. Exactly the same method. You've got 9 centimeters at the bottom, 6 at the sides, and 9 take away 6. So the red one is also 3 centimeters. Area is the amount of space inside the shape. For a square or rectangle, all you need to do is multiply the length and the width together. So if we take the first rectangle, 7 multiplied by 5 gives you 35. Because you've got centimeters and centimeters, multiply them together, you get centimeters squared. It's a 2-dimensional space. Okay, so if you could pause the video and work out the other ones, please. Okay, so that's what you should have got for those. Make sure you've got a unit. You sometimes get marks for units with areas. So whatever the sides are measured in, the area is measured in that thing squared. Okay, there's some more complicated formulas for area. A triangle can always be drawn as half of a rectangle. So for a triangle, you multiply the base and the height together, but then you halve it. It makes no difference if it's not a right angle triangle. You could imagine redrawing it as a right angle triangle, so it's still base times height and halve it. Parallelogram is the same as a rectangle, just multiply the 2 measurements together, so base times height. Okay, so 2 really quick examples then. We've got a triangle with height of 10 and a width of 12. So I'm going to do 10 times 12 and halve it, which is 60. That's meters squared. For a parallelogram, multiply base and height together. So 8 times 6 gives us 48 centimeters squared. And sometimes with parallelograms, you might find that they give you a sloping side, but you never need to use it for area. Okay, just skip this a little bit. So what I'd like you to do is try and find the areas of these triangles and parallelograms. You can make sure you put units with your answers, please, guys. Try and remember what we've just talked about. And check your answers in a few minutes when you had a go at it. If you want to use calculators, you can do. Okay, so that's what you should have got. If you note about some of these parallelograms, you get a sloping side, but you don't need to use it. So for D, I've just done 9 times 5. And the units are always whatever the sides are squared. Okay, the last polygon you need to be able to find the area of is a trapezium. And a trapezium is any quadrilateral which has 2 parallel sides. So if we look at this diagram, A and B are parallel, but the other 2 sides aren't. There's a formula for a trapezium. What it tells you to do is add together the parallel sides, so A plus B, multiply by the height, and then halve it. Okay, so we're going to go through an example and just look at how to do it in a step-by-step way. So that's our trapezium. We've got 6 centimeters and 10 centimeters as the parallel sides, and 12 as the height. So add our parallel sides, 6 and 10 is 16. Multiply by the height, 16 times 12 is 192. And halve it to get the area, so we get 96 centimeters squared. So whenever you do trapezia, if you set it out in those 3 steps, you should be okay. So if you want to spend a few minutes having a go at trapezia, then come back and check your answers, please. Okay, guys, so this is what you should have got. Like with some of the parallelograms, a sloping side isn't used for area at all. If you ask for a perimeter, you might need to use it, but for area, you don't need to use it at all. Okay, a bit of an extension then. You will get some of these kind of questions on the foundation. You need to be able to find area and perimeter, which is called circumference of circles. And all these questions involve this number called pi. Okay, pi is a number which is a decimal. As it's a decimal, that carries on going forever. It's got a special symbol on your calculator, which looks like one of these kind of things here. So this is the pi symbol. We've got a picture of a circle with a radius, so a distance from a center to the edge, 6 centimeters, which makes a diameter 12 centimeters. So for your circumference or your perimeter, all you need to do is multiply the number pi on your calculator by the diameter. For the area, you multiply the number pi by the radius squared. So if we look at what that would be, circumference is pi times 12, so diameter is 12, which gives you 37.7 centimeters, or you could write it as 12 times pi. The area is pi times the radius squared, so pi times 6 squared, which is 113.1 centimeters squared, or you could write it as 36 pi, because 6 squared is 36. If the question said write it in terms of pi, it would want to see 12 pi or 36 pi. So have a go at finding areas and circumferences of these circles. If you can do them to one decimal place, make sure you've got a unit. Remember, for area, units are centimeters squared or meters squared. Circumferences are centimeters or meters. Okay, and come back and check your answers in a minute. Okay, so that's what we should have got, guys. This one should actually say centimeters, not centimeters squared, because it's circumference, so well if you spotted that. But if you manage to get these things right, that's about as hard as area and perimeter are going to get. So what you need to be able to do is find your area and your perimeters of rectangles, triangles, parallelograms, trapezia, and also start working on some stuff to do with circles. Okay, so watch the video as many times as you need to. Have a go at some of the written work and the online questions that are on the Google Classroom, guys. Hope that all makes sense. Thank you.